Ready? Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. Heather, will you take roll call, please?
Commissioner Thill?
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw?
Here.
Commissioner Waldner?
Here.
Commissioner Wire?
Here.
Mayor Denner?
Here. We have the agenda in front of us. Do I have a motion to accept the agenda?
So approved.
Second.
Any comments or discussion? Not hearing any. Heather, will you take roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Shaw?
Aye.
Commissioner Waldner?
Aye.
Commissioner Wire?
Aye.
Commissioner Thill?
Aye.
Mayor Denner?
Aye. We'll move down into appearances acknowledgements. The first one is acknowledge the 2021 Delta dental rates. I'll talk about that. We did get our rates back from Delta Dental for the city employees, and the rate stayed the same. So do I have a motion to acknowledge 2021 Delta Dental rates?
Second.
Any further comments or discussion? Not hearing any. Heather, will you take roll call vote?
Commissioner Thill?
Aye.
Commissioner Waldner?
Aye.
Commissioner Wire?
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw?
Aye.
Mayor Denner?
Aye. Item number 2 is Chad, acknowledge infrastructure improvement plan 2021 through 2025. And that mic should be on.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor, members of the commission, members of the public. Included in the agenda packet is a plan similar to what we've done in the past. It seemed to work well, so I've continued with that format. It utilizes funds from the enterprise funds from the water and the sanitary sewer, and then the general fund, but in addition it utilizes funds from the 2nd sales tax. We've tried to account for those separately since those have been available in developing this plan. As the mayor indicated, it's a 5-year plan overall. It's about a $10.8 million is what we had anticipated. And it doesn't include all the city projects, but it just includes typically linear projects or streets where there's water main, sewer main, and such like that. Not special projects most often. And it excludes any electric fund projects, I should say, as well. I won't get into all the details because there's a fair amount of numbers here and some maps and such, but we try, needless to say, what we try to do is utilize to its fullest extent the 2nd cent funds. While we may not utilize each year's receipts in that particular year, oftentimes what happens is we need to allow those funds to accumulate some such that they can fund larger projects in later years. Also, obviously, coordinate with the respective commissioners and departments related to this, particularly Mr. Lawrence and Mr. Gagno as well. But we're trying to get towards a goal of where the respective enterprise funds, particularly being the sanitary sewer and the water fund, where they can fund as much of their own expenses themselves as part of this. And so we've been moving in that direction for quite some time, and we've been trying to put a little more emphasis on that as best we can. So you can see it's a 5-year plan. The only thing that's really committed to, and obviously the budget's already approved, is primarily in 2021, with possible exception, could be said, for some of the rural development self-fund portions, because those are multi-year projects. But in other words, projects in 2022 and 3 and 4 and 5 will likely change depending on priorities as determined by the maintenance staff and the other departments who we work with this based upon needs. In 2021, just a brief comment about that year in particular, because that is the most, that's the next year, obviously. We estimate about $2.3 million out of this infrastructure improvement plan to be expended next year. To give a bit of a context, with the large rural development project ongoing next year, which is, other than the self-funded portion of Phase 1A, there's a Phase 1B and Phase 2 next year, but other than the self-funded portion of Phase 1A, the balance of that rural development project, and I pulled these as best I can from the budget, that's about $7.7 million. So just to give you a frame of reference of how much work is going to be going on next year. It's going to be a lot. So with that, I think I've hit most of my high points. I'd be happy to stand by for questions if there are any.
Do I have a motion to acknowledge Infrastructure Improvement Plan 2021 through 2025?
So moved. So moved.
Mike, we're going to give you the second, okay?
That'll work.
Okay. Is there any questions, comments for Chad?
I'm glad to see this is proceeding like it is. It's good. You know, people will know where their money is being put. I think that's what's important. You can see the structural component that's going on. So when everybody asks why their rates and things like that go up, and we can actually point out these things, that's very good, and I appreciate that.
It's a team effort. Like I said, some of the other departments have been good. The finance group and the mayor and Mr. Mr. Wire has been involved, as a lot of this is utilities, of course, so it seemed to work well.
Any other comments, discussion? Not hearing any. Heather, will you take roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Wire?
Aye.
Commissioner Waldner?
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw?
Aye.
Commissioner Thill?
Aye.
Mayor Denner?
Aye.
Thank you, Chad.
Thanks, Chad.
Thanks, Chad.
We will move down into consent calendar. Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Not hearing any, we will take roll call on that.
Commissioner Shaw?
Aye.
Commissioner Thill?
Aye.
Commissioner Wire?
Aye.
Commissioner Waldner?
Aye.
Mayor Denner?
Aye. We have nothing under unfinished business, so we'll move down into the new business. You want to take her off mute, Nancy? Can you hear us, Nancy?
Oh, no, I did not, sorry.
Nope, can you hear us now?
Okay.
Okay, we're going to let Nancy visit with us on item number 1, authorize the mayor to sign grant agreement, USDA Rural Development Community Faculty Grant, update Madison Public Library use space.
This has been kind of a long process and a longer project than we anticipated. A few years ago, we applied for a grant from some library resources like the American Library Association and some others, and got some money to rearrange our furniture in the youth space so that we'd have sort of a private space for the young adults. Then the USDA had some money available for similar projects, and they would let us use our initial grant as the match. So we applied to USDA, and then we bought equipment. So we have a 3D printer and some other equipment, including some laptop computers for the kids to use. This is finally the end of it. This is the very, very end of it, the last part of it. And we would not have gotten this far if it were not for the people in the finance office who did our record keeping for us, especially Kristen. I don't know how she kept it all straight, but we are very grateful. And if you have questions about the grant or about the equipment that we purchased, I can answer those.
Okay. Do I have a motion to authorize the mayor to sign grant agreement USDA Rural Development Community Facility Grant Update Madison Public Library Use Space?
So approved.
Second.
Is there any questions for Nancy? Not hearing any. Heather, you want to take roll call vote?
Commissioner Thill,
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw,
Aye.
Commissioner Waldner,
Aye.
Commissioner Wire,
Aye.
Mayor Denner.
Aye. We'll move down to item number 2, which is Roxy. Authorize the mayor to electronically sign applicant project review category A, debris removal, project number 134530, FEMA 2019 September flood application number 4469 DRSD.
Ready? Okay. In your commission packet, you will have screenshots. This doesn't come out as a nice, pretty document because the mayor signs this electronically. So these are the screenshots of basically what he will be clicking on. This project was not anything I was involved in from the get-go, so all I really did is I confirmed that the numbers that they have here matched up with the spreadsheets and the documentation that we provided to FEMA, and they do. So you're looking at the project cost for debris cleanup of $105,356.14, of which the federal will reimburse up to $79,017.11. I believe that this, from what I'm being told, this applicant project review that the mayor will go on and complete tomorrow is the last step of our approval process before it moves on to the final federal stage, and at that point it gets turned over to the state. That's the way I understand it anyway. So,
That's what I gathered too.
yeah, it goes through one more final review after this, and all this is just saying that these are the numbers that we put in, and they haven't changed anything, so that's all that he is signing off on, that yes, he agrees to these numbers as they're printed. And this is Project A, debris cleanup.
Okay. Do I have a motion to authorize the mayor to electronically sign applicant project review category A, debris removal, project number 134530, FEMA 2019 September flood applicant number 4469 DRSD?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Mike's got it.
Okay, I'll give Mike that one, and Jeree's going to second it. Any comments or discussion for Roxy? Other than, yeah, keep up the good work.
Thank you
I
again.
didn't do much for this one, so.
There's plenty more to come. I'm sure.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Not hearing any, Heather, will you take roll call vote?
Commissioner Wire,
Aye.
Commissioner Waldner,
Aye.
Commissioner Thill,
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw,
Aye.
Mayor Denner.
Aye. We'll go into item 3, which is Chad. Authorize the mayor to sign change order number 3, Banner Association, Inc. /J&J Earthworks, Inc. Water System Improvement Project Phase 1A.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor, and members of the commission, members of the public here and listening. Included in the agenda packet is a 2-page change order, a letter from J&J Earthworks Incorporated, a letter from Banner Associates, and a memo from Banner Associates dated November 12, 2020. This is a change order which will extend the time for an interim completion for the paving portion of the first part of the rural development project. The rural development project we're referring to as Phase 1A. It's in the northwest part of town. And the particular phase where this is extending is called Phase 1-1 of that project. It is for the paving portion only. The requirement was to get that work completed by October 1st. Due to some inclement weather, that particular week, September 28th through October 2nd, the contractor had asked to defer that. You see that request in J&J Earthworks letter, and then Banner's response was granting that, and this formally changes it via the change order process for just the paving portion, asphalt paving portion. There's also interim completion dates that are dealt with separately for other parts of this year's work. Those likely will be forthcoming as well, but they're not part of this change order. This is just for the paving. And then that's required to go over to rural development for their concurrence. So you can see that Banner recommended approval of this. I would recommend approval of this. And should you be so inclined to provide your approval, I would ask that you include it, that it be conditioned on the concurrence of rural development. And I'd be happy to stand by for questions.
Do I have a motion to authorize the mayor to sign change order number 3, Banner Association, Inc., J&J Earthworks, Inc., Water System Improvement Project, Phase 1A, on the concurrence from RD, correct?
Yes, sir.
So moved.
Second.
No money change, just the date change, correct? On this
Correct,
job?
just for that interim completion of the paving. That is correct.
Okay. Is there any other comments or questions for Chad? Not hearing any. Heather, will you take a roll call vote?
Commissioner Shaw,
Aye.
Commissioner Phil,
Aye.
Commissioner Wire,
Aye.
Commissioner Waldner,
Aye.
Mayor Dennert.
Aye. Thank you, Chad. Item number 4, authorize the mayor to sign the employer's subscription agreement, Health Pool of South Dakota 2021 Health and Life Insurance. This is just a letter that we have to sign to get back to them, so we can proceed on opening this up to the health pool up to our employees. So do I have a motion on authorize the mayor to sign employer's subscription agreement, Health Pool of South Dakota 2021 Health and Life Insurance?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Is there any other questions on it? No comments or discussion. We will take a roll call vote.
Commissioner Phil,
Aye.
Commissioner Waldner,
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw,
Aye.
Commissioner Wire,
Aye.
Mayor Dennert.
Aye. Item number 5. Jeff on,
Yes, I am, Mayor.
okay. Item number 5 is authorize the mayor to sign engagement letter, Schoenfish and Company, Inc., 2020 Annual Report and Audit Service. Did you want to touch on that, Jeff?
I sure can.
Okay.
Yes, you, Mayor, Commissioners. For the last several years, the city has used Schoenfish and Company out of Carson as their auditing firm. And visiting with them last week about a number of things, this came up, that the city should enter into an agreement. The city uses them 1 year at a time. There are different options, but I was suggesting that maybe the city for this year just re-engage Schoenfish to do the same work that they've done in years past. They increased the price by $500 for the audit and $100 for the annual report. And a brief explanation on the annual report, we will still be preparing all the financial statements for them. And reading, you may have read in the letter that the annual report actually gets prepared in March and April, and by law needs to be presented to you by May 1st. And I or someone else will be preparing all the financial statements beginning in December, but January and February, because a lot of bills come in, and even the sales tax payment in February is actually for December sales, so that's technically considered a revenue source in the current year. And so, visiting with them too, if something does come up and the new finance officer would like to prepare the annual report, take the financial statements that we have and then compile it into an annual report format, Shane Fish is fine with that, they said. Then they would just disregard this $3,000 annual report. But most cities, most towns around our size, they use the same type of system, where the city prepares the financial statements and then the auditing firm, because they have all the format and it makes their work easier to do the audit. And by the way, a $15,000 fee for an audit for a town the size of Madison, in my experience, is a very good price. And Shane Fish seems like a very reputable firm. So I thought just for this year anyway, you might just want to continue with the past precedent.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Do I have a motion to authorize the mayor to sign engagement letter, Shane Fish and Company, Inc., 2020 Annual Report and Audit Service?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Is there any questions for Jeff or discussion? Not hearing any. Heather, will you take roll call vote?
Commissioner Shaw,
Aye.
Commissioner Thill,
Aye.
Commissioner Waldner,
Aye.
Commissioner Wire,
Aye.
Mayor Denner.
Aye. Item 6, we got Eric Hortness here. I'll let him come on up and start off. Accept petition requesting the creation of a business improvement district and set date of hearing for December 21st.
Thanks, Mayor and Commissioners. I'll have to apologize to Commissioner Waldner. Mike, I sent you this document that the other commissioners have at about 5:28, so I'm not sure if you have it or not.
I got it, but
Perfect.
thank you. I appreciate that. I'm looking at it online.
Perfect. And I've been working with Jeff a little bit through this process now. This has kind of been a long time coming. The easy way to explain this is it's a $2 per room per night hotel tax on all 142 rooms that we now have in Madison. And, generally, most communities, if not all communities, have this type of tax set up. And it is generally out-of-towners that are going to be paying the $2 tax. And if you go stay anywhere else in other communities, you'll see that this tax on your receipt. And the larger communities have multiple bid districts. And so the taxes add up pretty quickly. There's two ways to establish it. The document that you're looking at is from Toby Morris. And the easiest way for the hotel tax is to do it by creation of district by petition. And if you're looking at that document, the number 1 petition by the owners, which are the 3 hotels, That has been signed and turned in to Kristen. And so now we are on point number 2 with the first meeting, where you accept the petition and set the hearing date going forward. The funds that are generated by this tax, then a bid board is created, and the bid board then comes to the commission and recommends how those dollars should be divvied out, with the thought of bringing in more overnight events or upgrading facilities so that we are able to have more overnight events. And so it ends up being just a cycle where the more overnight events we have, the more tax dollars this generates for that fund. Like I told the mayor this morning, obviously 2020 isn't a normal year, but if we're looking at a normal year at 50% capacity, this bid tax would generate about $51,000 a year. That again, in turn, can be used to upgrade facilities, bring in more events, those types of things. Some examples, the Mount Marty opened up a brand new field house a couple of months ago. Their bid board in Yankton requested to contribute $1 million to have that field house built, with the thought that they're going to be able to host a lot more 2-day youth basketball tournaments and soccer tournaments and things like that inside that field house. Mitchell used it to build an indoor ice hockey arena. There's all kinds of examples that this hotel tax has benefited other communities. Like I said, you'd be hard pressed to find a community that doesn't have this already set up.
Okay. Do I have a motion to accept petition requesting for creation of a business improvement district and set date of hearing for December 21st?
So moved.
I'll second.
Any questions for Eric?
I have one comment.
Yep.
If you look down to letter C under point number 2, if you're wanting to adopt the ordinance after that December 21st hearing, then you need to have a first reading previous to December 21st. So that's something for the commission to consider. If you want to have the first reading on the 14th and then the second reading on the 21st.
Any other comment? Not hearing any.
Are you talking about 30 days for the first hearing? First reading?
Well, it says the hearing date needs to be 30 days, and then below that, it says if the city wants to be able to adopt the ordinance after the hearing, then it should have a first reading prior between the first and second reading.
What I'm wondering is, if it's 30 days from now, will we have enough time to get this in for the 21st meeting with the 5 days afterwards? See what I'm saying?
That is probably more a Jeff or David question.
To be honest, I don't know offhand. I'm gonna have to look into that. Jeff ran point on this, and I don't know the exact timing on all of this. But I would suggest that there's a motion on the floor to set the hearing. Let's get the hearing set, and I can brief the commission on the timeline. I can do that in short order.
I think it's a good deal. I'm not against it. I just was asking a question.
Yep.
Okay,
Commissioner Phil,
Yeah?
this is Jeff. I might be able to offer a little bit of insight on that. I set the hearing date for the 21st of December, thinking that normally how, at least when I was around, that we wouldn't have the first reading of an ordinance until the night of the hearing. And so when I wrote this and set the hearing date, I just assumed that first reading of the ordinance would be on the 21st of December. That's 30 days from, at least 30 days from now. So we're good there. Since that time, then Eric pointed out to me that, and I don't have that in front of me, I've seen it though, I think what he's showing you is some information from a law firm in Sioux Falls that says that, well, really, legally, adopting an ordinance or having a hearing means legally, that could be the second reading of an ordinance. Because typically, an ordinance takes first and second reading. The first reading is really almost like an acknowledgement, and the second reading is where you actually adopt it. Yes, sir. We've never done that, or I had never done that. So I think what Eric is saying is the lawyer says you can have first reading before you have second reading. That the second reading is the important passage of the ordinance. So either way, as Dave said, I think you could just go along with this as is, approve it, and then Dave and I can look into, if you do want to have a first reading on the 14th, can we do that? Or do we need to wait till the 21st to have the first reading and then the second reading the week after? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, thank you. Like I said, I'm not against it, I'm just trying to make sure everything's covered.
Yep.
any other comments or discussion? Not hearing any. Heather, will you take roll call vote?
Commissioner Shaw,
Aye.
Commissioner Wire,
Aye.
Commissioner Phil,
Aye.
Commissioner Waldner,
Aye.
Mayor Denner.
Aye.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Item number 7, adopt resolution number 2020-30, notice of intent to create a business improvement district. Jeff, did you want to talk on this one?
Yes, I certainly can.
Okay.
Part of the rules in order to create a business improvement district require that tonight you would need to adopt a resolution of intent. That's pretty much just saying that you've received this petition, this is the district, and just for the benefit of anyone listening that hasn't read it, the district includes all of Madison that's zoned for hotels, basically. And that you're setting a hearing date. And that the funds will be used for the purposes set forth in state law. And I did include in the agenda those allowable uses. And you can see in there, the uses of the funds is pretty broad. So,
Okay.
as Eric said, that if you do approve this business improvement district, then the mayor, with the commission's approval, will appoint a 5-person board, will then make recommendations to the commission on what to use the money for. So the city will be kind of a conduit for the funds. I've talked to Eric and I have some ideas. If you do approve this, how that can be implemented, the whole process to do that.
Okay. Thank you. So do I have a motion to adopt resolution number 2020-30, notice of intent to create a bid improvement district?
So moved.
Second.
Any further comments or discussion? Not hearing any. Heather, you want to take roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Wire?
Aye.
Commissioner Waldner?
Aye.
Commissioner Phil?
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw?
Aye.
Mayor Denner?
Aye. Go into item 8, which is Chap. Adopt resolution number 2020-31, sidewalk repair improvement 2021.
Thank you, Your Honor, members of the commission, members, public here or listening. Included in the agenda packet is a 7-page resolution related to the declaration of the necessity for sidewalk repair improvement. This generally follows the policy adopted by the commission previously regarding sidewalk inspections. There's been a few state law changes this last session that we've coordinated with Mr. Jinks on to make sure we have our ducks in a row, and we believe we do regarding this. So briefly about the process we use. Typically, we would inspect sidewalks in the spring of the year, and then we would proceed to provide an informal notice immediately with a door hanger, and then another notice around July 1st or so, allowing landowners to perhaps make some improvements that very first year. But then, and then later in the fall, about this time, November, December, the commission, we put forth a resolution to the commission, which makes these binding, so to speak, and formally sets the completion date on the following year, which would be around that August 1st, July 15th timeline. So from the time of the inspection to the time of the improvement, it would be about over a year, probably about 15, 16 months or so. And yeah, this particular year was unique in that these inspections were actually accomplished in 2019. The City Commission, due to the flood and some staffing issues we had in our office, the timelines didn't fall and flow like I had just described for you, and then the flood came, and so on September 23rd of 2019, the Commission deferred all those improvements that were supposed to be accomplished this year in 2020, deferred them to 2021. And so now we're catching up on the inspections that were done in 2019, in the spring of 2019. And so the end of the process, or I'll call it the middle of the process, I guess, is where you adopt this resolution and formally make that a binding requirement to make those repairs, is where we're at today. That is generally our process. I may be skipping over a few things, maybe to the disadvantage of some of the newer commission members, but I think I've generally described it. And so I would recommend that we approve these. There was about 86 or 87 landowners that we had encountered. You'll notice in there, many of those are pretty small repairs, 23 feet. You see that repeated a lot. That's just one single panel of a repair. Some are bigger. Most are in that smaller range. And this would make it a binding requirement for those to complete those repairs. And I'd be happy to stand by for questions.
Do I have a motion to adopt resolution number 2020-31, sidewalk repair improvement 2021?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any questions or comments for Chad?
Once we do this, then they'll get letters in the mail stating they have to fix these, or?
That is correct. There's a process in statute that says after this is approved and published, we'll provide them a notice and a company include in the notice this resolution to give more detail, because these are, legal descriptions are a little hard to understand, but we'll explain that to them in that notice. Yes, sir.
Will this 1-year delay do anything to the overall plan, or just put us behind a year?
Yeah, that's a good question. So this is the, we divided the town out in 6 sections previously. This particular area is in the southeast part of town. This will be this was the second set of inspections that we accomplished in this area. So to answer your question, it really just shifts things 1 year. It really won't affect much else other than that. And so, yeah.
They can't, typically they don't come and ask for, we don't have a hearing on it, that they can come and ask not to do it this year on the repairs, just on new sidewalk, is that correct?
Yeah, that's a good question also. It is slightly different, new sidewalk versus repairs, and particularly it's been with the law changes that has made it, drawn some distinctions, I guess I'll describe it that way, between a repair process versus a new process because of the new statutes. And indeed, we do not afford an opportunity to petition for delays formally, as you will see in the upcoming weeks with the new sidewalk resolutions that we talked about not so long ago. So there may be issues from time to time if somebody's building a house or doing a project where they might ask for a delay for a year so they don't put in new sidewalk or fix a couple panels and then break it up again during the project. So those happen from time to time, but more often those happen with both the formal expression of concerns, if you will, at the time of adoption for a new sidewalk and after it's already approved and binding. So, sorry if I got a little
Nope. Thank you.
afield on that answer, but yeah.
Is there any more comments or discussion for Chap? Not hearing any. Heather, will you take roll call, please?
Commissioner Shaw,
Aye.
Commissioner Phil,
Aye.
Commissioner Wire,
Aye.
Commissioner Waldner,
Aye.
Mayor Denner.
Hi. Thank you, Chad.
Yes, sir.
We'll go down into item number 9. Justin, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll let you talk about authorizing the purchase of the 2021 Ford Explorer Utility Police Interceptor.
So what we're looking at doing is obviously updating our fleet as we do every year. We're looking at purchasing a new 2021 SUV, which will replace our current 2017 SUV that's got about 97,000 miles on it right now. We're looking at purchasing a hybrid, which is about $2,000 more than a non-hybrid. The research is showing on these vehicles, however, that they are saving approximately $3,000 to $4,000 a year on fuel consumption. So we're going to go ahead and give one a try. This pricing is what has been set forth by the state of South Dakota, and Ford does allow Prostrellos to match that bid. So you have your base price. A couple of things that we are adding on for ease of work and officer safety, and your final bid price of $36,942.
Okay, do I have a motion to authorize the purchase of the 2021 Ford Explorer Utility Police Interceptor?
So moved.
So move.
Second.
And you're ordering it now, Justin, for 2021, so we can get it in 2021, and that was in the budget, correct?
Yes, it is. These police model vehicles are only production run at certain points in the year, and so by ordering it now, hopefully we'll have it sometime late spring, early summer, and then obviously once it comes in, we need to outfit it as well. So hopefully we'll get it on the road sometime mid-year.
Okay, and we fall within the budget?
Yes, sir, we do.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments or discussion? Not hearing any. You take roll call.
Commissioner Waldner,
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw,
Aye.
Commissioner Wire,
Aye.
Commissioner Phil,
Aye.
Mayor Denner.
Aye. Thank you, Justin.
Thanks, gentlemen, and everybody. Have a good evening.
Okay. Item 10, update on COVID. Anybody has update on COVID?
I'll continue to plead with the public about mask wearing in the public. We continue to see our cases rise drastically, which is an extreme concern. We've jumped active cases at a rapid rate, and the death rate is on an upward trend too in this state. So I plead with people to please wear your masks when you're out in public. Thank you.
Public comment, we have one. Shelley Ike, you want to come on up and state your name and present your case?
I'm Shelley Ike. I'm like to bring to light to try to start something here to get it on the books and get things cleaned up for the alley behind 425 South Egan. So it runs north to south from Timmer's Supply all the way to Southwest 4th Street, I believe.
Okay.
There are numerous things that need to be addressed. I think the biggest one right now is there is large oil containers sitting back there, half full, 3/4 full of oil. I did take pictures for you guys, so you have them.
Pass them out. So, yeah.
That's what it is right now. Roughly 2 months ago, I loaded everything onto a trailer that was just behind our property alone. It has now been moved about 50 feet north and dumped back off. So that's kind of where we stand right now. Just trying to get things started. I know you guys are busy and we're coming into winter, so. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you want your pictures back?
Nope, you can have them.
Okay, I will make sure Commissioner Waldner gets to look at them. Do we have any announcements? Not hearing any. Couple things before we go into exec session. Mike, will you give us a couple minutes to get set up before you get on?
Yep, roger that, no problem.
And then, Sue, I did not let you know or ahead of time, but we may come out of exec session and have to vote on a item. So if the media wants to stay around, Sue, if you want to come down. If you can't make it, I can give you a call to let you know what that was. So do I got a motion to go into exec session?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, signify by aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Oh, I don't know how old that Google picture is either.
We're now out of exec session, and we do have a item to come in front of us.
I'm going to make a motion that we make our police department essential workers moving forward, effective immediately. There are some parameters that they're going to need to follow if they come in contact in their home and they cannot isolate from a spouse or child, or they are COVID positive, that they would be out immediately. If they are at close contact, they must wear masks at all times during their entire shift. and they must notify the HR if they are a close contact, whether that the employee does it or the supervisor does it. And then there will be a policy that follows for the rest of the city next week.
Mike will second that. Any further comments or discussion? Not hearing any. I'll take roll call vote. Commissioner Thel?
Aye.
Commissioner Waldner?
Aye.
Commissioner Wire?
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw?
Aye.
Mayor Dennert? Aye. Motion passed. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So approved.
I'll second that.
All in favor signify by aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Have a nice evening.
Good talk, gentlemen.
Good night.
Mike, I will, oh, he's already gone. That's all right.
He's there. No, he's still
What's
there.
that, Marshall?
I'll just scan these pictures of this alley, and
That's fine, I'll drive down there.
yeah, I'll put them in the box then, in your box. Not a problem.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Save the paper.
Okay. All right,
Not necessary.
all right. Did you get that one, Chuck?
Well, you just, name the police department personnel as essential. So throw that on.
Yes.
Next week. Okay, and then, so there were just